I'm Dee. I served in the United States Army from 1987 to 1989. My MOS was 95 Bravo, which is military police. After high school, I had a scholarship and was going to school at our local community college, and about 2 weeks into my program, I totaled my car and was no longer able to continue that program, and it was at a turning point, one of those pivot points in my life where I had to make a decision. I knew I wanted to get out of my small hometown in the Midwest, so I went down to the local recruiter's office. I'd had other friends who had signed up after graduation and gone into different branches, and so I said, I think this is going to be my way out of here and a chance to start growing and developing as a person and to see where this takes me. My service started in January. That was actually January of '87 when my service started, so I must have enrolled in '86 or enlisted in '86. So then I was sent to Fort McClellan, Alabama. Now it's closed. They've closed that base, but it was a great base down there, and that base was a little unique in that they did training for all military police there. So everybody in that MOS for military police would go through basic training there and then stay and also do your AIT, your Advanced Individual Training. So that's oftentimes it's separate or it goes to a different base for that training, but we all MPs stayed there at that time. So got our patch for military police was cross pistols, and so I did a lot of training on the fire range, getting familiar with all types of things and how to just normal police training, everything from traffic control, security, domestic situations, how to handle all this kind of stuff. So then when I got my orders, after training was done, I was sent to Seneca Army Depot, which is upstate New York. Basically, there were two units there, and that was EOD, explosives, and MPs. It was a very secure base, nuclear security. So that is what I did for 3 years. Because it was so secure, one of the very unique things about that base is that they had, so white-tailed deer are very common in that area, just like they are in many other parts of the East and Midwest. But the white-tailed deer because they'd been contained in that fenced-in area for so many years, and then began inbreeding. The white-tailed deer, they were pure white, like albinos, but they were not albinos. They didn't have pink eyes, they had brown eyes. And so we would have hunters and trophy hunters coming from all over to try to get these beautiful white deer. As a female MP, I carried a .38. The male MPs at that time were assigned a .45. I know that's changed over the years now, but that's what it was then. Also, of course, everybody was assigned an M16. And then so every day we'd go to work and we were assigned different duties, different patrols and things we would have. So sometimes we'd be carrying an M60, some days a shotgun. So we did a lot of patrol and a lot of standing on airfields, just making sure everything stayed secure and was kept safe. It means a lot to me to be a veteran. And I have the utmost respect for other veterans. Most other veterans served a lot longer than I did, and many more have served in difficult combat times, obviously. I was fortunate I never had to, none of that was going on when I was serving. It was really a peacetime missions. My father served, my maternal grandfather and paternal grandfather served. My maternal grandmother, all of the men in her family served. My father's father served. It was just so much. And even one of my grandmother's sisters, so one of the females in my grandparents' generation, served as an Air Force nurse. Our whole family, through all of them, they have purchased in our small little hometown. They put together some memorials for all the vets in our hometown and those areas, and it means a lot to me. I remember my dad taking me when I was a little kid on Veterans Day to the courthouse for the ceremonies that they would do there, and it would give me chills when they would shoot off the guns. Scared me a little bit as a kid, but just remembering and seeing the respect that my dad showed, that meant a lot to me, and I just tried to emulate him in that way.